Okay, super duper. All right, guys. Well, hey, welcome. It is July, which is wild. And this month for our team meeting packet, we're doing Christmas in July because we've got the really nice online exclusives. So we're going to make the horse and sleigh. We're going to make the meeting planner packet, and I'm going to show you how to make them. I'll also kind of talk a little bit about these very large snowflakes, the adhesive back snowflakes. There's some that are really large and some that are smaller. I was able to split the packs into 10, but it was really difficult to do. So if you were going to split this for a class, I would say maybe splitting it in half would be the most I would go. Just the way that they were laid out made it strategically difficult to split. So just FYI on that. Okay, so for this class, you need a fourth a pack of the designer series paper. And this is the One Horse Open Sleigh designer series paper. And these are designed so that you can share them with friends. So if you wanted to turn around and make this class for your friends, you could. You can't give them the PDF as it is, but you can make your own PDF with your own pictures, or you can just teach them how to make the cards, and they don't need a PDF, especially if they're coming in person, you know? So the first card in the pack is not this one, which is kind of funny. I wonder if my package is like upside down or something. No, it's just all jumbled. Okay. So the first card in the package, and there's 5 cards in this set, which is actually a lot. But the first one is a fun fold, and it's a really simple fun fold. So you have your Misty Moonlight card base, and you just have a piece trimmed off on the front. And then you're going to need several pieces of designer series paper. So you're going to need, you're going to need the designer series paper that is, let's see, which one's doing? We need this one, which looks a little barren to me, but it's nice with the pink. I think it softens it up. So that's with the petal pink. And then you're also going to need a piece of the dotted stripy one, which tells you exactly what I think about it. Okay, here we go. So this piece is going to go on the inside. This is going to go on the front. And this one is 4 by 3. I think we're going to need a different one for the side panel too. So this one's 4 by 3, and I think we'll use mainly the top part because this is, yeah. So we'll go 3 inches this way. And then that's a little low, but that's okay. And then I think I want for my 4, I'll do that. That's fine. All right. So you have the PDF to follow along because it is on the group, the Southern Sweet Stampers group. And I'll never post the PDF on ours because there's really no point. It just, you know, it's already been posted for you, you know, in Candy's group. So I generally don't post it. All right, so this is 4 by 5 1/4. That's a half, that's a quarter. Okay. All right, so I'm just getting my little pieces here. And then I do need a piece or a panel piece that's going to go here. And I think I need it from a different designer series paper because it's not going to work from this one. And I just don't want to pick one that we're going to use later, which sometimes gets a little dicey on these guys. I don't really feel like I have that good of a choice. Oh, maybe that's what I was supposed to do here. You could probably just patch it together, right? So this needs to be 2 by 4. I bet that's what this was. Ah, yes. That's what this was. All right. No big deal. We'll just glue them next to each other and it'll be fun. So from this piece, what you really should have done is cut the 2 panel first, and then you could cut the 4 panel here. So I needed these 2 pieces to be together, and that's okay. We're gonna figure it out. It's just, that's 3, so we only need like an inch from here. All right, I think I know what I'm doing. And if I don't, it's okay. It's just paper. We can always cut another one if we need to, right? All right. So with this one, we're just going to, oh, that's a shame to cover that piece. That one, that's sad. I like that one. All right, so we're gonna put this inside. And then let's build the little front panel. So we're gonna put this on the front, and I'm just gonna kind of glue those 2 pieces down so that we'll never even know that I messed up. Totally fine, right? So I like the One Horse Open Sleigh paper because it makes really fast, easy cards. These aren't difficult cards to make. You can do a lot of like simple stamping on the designer series paper. Like in this case, that's what we're gonna do. That doesn't seem like that's trimmed right, but that's okay. That'll be good enough. And then in this case, we're gonna stamp the sentiment right onto the designer series paper. And we're gonna use, I'm gonna use Misty because that's the base card color, right? So with this paper, I think a lot of stamping right on the DSP is perfectly fine when you have such a pretty paper and you don't want to necessarily, cover it with something. And then we're going to put this white piece on the inside where we think this will center it. I got glue on my fingers. Oh dear. And then this will go on the front and it will cover it. So what I like to do is kind of hold it there and say, okay, I'm only going to put glue on this piece of the panel. So just right here. And then I won't over glue, and glue. I don't want to glue my card shut, that would be bad. And then the designs in this one used a lot of the glittered organdy ribbon, which this ribbon is pretty. It does tie nice little bows. It's very snowy looking, and it's a nice ribbon for sure. So get a nice little bow going, and then we're definitely going to need some bullet dots and maybe some scissors. Here. Good. So put that on the front with the glue dot, and she just kind of had it like perched up here, and I think that's super cute. All right. So that's the first card. It's a fancy fold, but it's a simple fancy fold, right? It doesn't have to be, fancy folds don't have to be like mechanically complicated in your head. So that's, something to remember. All right. So the second one is the one that has, this is all the designer series paper. And it's the one that has the little tag. Oh, yeah, this one. Cool. All right. And then, so this is just a thick white card base. And then we have, this is cut from the tailored tag dies, and I like the stitching on this one. And then we cut the little tree out from the die set that goes with the One Horse Open Sleigh. This tree is very delicate. I left all of the little pieces in when I shipped it to you guys so that it would be a little bit sturdier, you know. But they pop out really easily. Kind of looks a little like coral. And then the DSP we need for this is we need the light wood grain, and we need the one that kind of looks like a frozen lake. So we need this light wood grain, and the frozen lake is on the back side. So that's nice. That means we're going to use one sheet to do the card. So when we cut it, we want this kind of larger drift to be available. So we're going to cut the 4-inch panel will be on this side, and the 2-inch panel will be here. And then this just needs to be 4 by 5.5. Oh, they did 4 1/4. Okay, that's okay. I won't, but they did 4 1/4 by 5.5. So they covered the entire card front with the designer series paper. I'm going to have a little bit of an edge around it, but that's okay. And then this piece is a little bit smaller. It needs to be 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. So 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. So I'm going to cut a little bit off the bottom. 3 1/4. And then 1 3/4. I'm just going to make sure that I'm not crazy. Kind of like that side, so I'm going to keep it. And I'll put all these little scraps aside and decide later if I, want to use them or think that they're important. So we're going to use that. And then I'm going to build our card. I'll put this one over here. So this one is also stamped right on the DSP. I am going to stamp it before I mount it, just in case I mess something up. No, not me. All right, so sending warmth your way. The other day I was stamping somewhere else, like at a class, and I was like, wow, why is this so difficult to stamp here? And what I realized is I have this mat on my desk, and it's basically like a giant foam mat. And I was like, oh, it's because I stamp on a giant foam mat all the time. I'm very fortunate that I have that. I just got it on Amazon. But all right, so we're going to put this in here. Just slide it so that it fits perfect on there. And then this is kind of put askew, and then we've got our little tree. So I didn't put adhesive on the back of the tree. I could have done the adhesive sheets probably when I was prepping this, but instead I have just tended to just do like these little tiny dots of adhesive, and this seems to be working just fine. Just a few dots here and there. And then we'll make sure to ground the tree on the solid piece of, ice or whatever, right? So we're not going to have it floating in the ice in the lake, so to speak. And then because we have the hole here, which is great, we can put our ribbon through the hole. This one's too small. I had a bunch of like little remnant pieces. but we can put our ribbon through the hole and then we can tie a little bow. So I'm going to do that. And it is a smaller hole, but this is pretty sturdy ribbon. So you can kind of shove it through. Might get a couple pieces of glitter off. You could also throw your card across the room. That's also a choice. Come on. All right. So I'm gonna put this on the card base. I like this wood grain. It's very pretty. And I don't mind having a little bit of the, the white showing or whatever. And then before I tie this bow, I'm actually going to put this down with dimensionals because it'll make it easier to tie the bow when it's like stuck on something. So that's a little trick, especially when I'm working with seniors who have a hard time tying bows on like small objects. It's sometimes helpful to like go ahead and glue the item to the card base itself. And then it's easier to tie your bow because now I'm not kind of chasing a piece of paper, right? Like now I've got this and it's like, glued on here and it's easy to tie my bow. So, and I tie my bows upside down. I just know that's how I naturally tie my bows. So then that helps me. I just kind of adjust it, once I've got it how I want it. There. And we'll trim our little bow. All right. So a couple of these fancy folds I told you guys I had never seen before. And so I think the next one is one of the ones that I had not done before. One of them was really wild. That's not this one. That's the next one. All right. So the next one uses the Lost Lagoon, which you guys know is one of my favorite colors that came back. They took Mint Macaron away, but at least they gave me Lost Lagoon. So this is this card is a normal card base, and then you just trim on the diagonal half of the card front, card base away. And then you've got this cute little kind of flap that we're going to put in here. But first we have to find our designer series paper. So for this one, we're going to use the trees. There's like this image that has a bunch of little trees on it. It's pretty busy, which is why I think in the design, a lot of it's covered because it's a busy little pattern. And then the other one we're going to use is the one that has the tree in green. And I think that this other piece gets used somewhere else. So I'm going to be careful when I trim this one to preserve the tree just in case. So the small tree paper is just cut to 4 by 5 1/4. So we'll do 4 by 5 1/4. And then we'll cut it on the diagonal. And I just need to make sure I cut it the right diagonal way because you can cut the other way. And then that's a totally different card. So when you're using the trimmer to cut on the diagonal, if you try to take the blade up against like this edge right here, you're going to jam it and it's going to wrinkle your paper. So what I recommend you do is you drop your blade in the middle of your diagonal, which I realize is a little different, and then cut out and then cut out, right? Then you won't jam your diagonal because if you try to cut into a diagonal corner, you're going to like crinkle up the paper and it's going to cause it to look really ugly. So whenever you cut on a diagonal and you're trying to cut into some points, just drop it in the middle, cut it out, and then cut it out. And that'll give you a much cleaner piece. And then this one, we just need this tree side of it. And this is going to be 3 by 4. So 3. So we are just using half of this sheet, which is nice. So 3, and then we want a lot of tree. So I think we're going to trim off a little bit on this side, like maybe 1 inch on this side. And then maybe this is going to be by 4. So we'll trim some more tree off of that side. So that gives us like this kind of seam here. And get our little scraps up. Scraps, scraps, scraps. I'm sure these will all be put to good use. All right. Okay. So then when you're constructing this one, and this one's actually not hard to, this isn't hard to prep this, and you can prep this diagonal for them. I would. And I honestly would prep the diagonal designer series paper for them as well, just because I think that if you don't, it's going to cause a lot of anxiety. And if they mess up, they're going to want you to recut their paper for them. So if you were teaching this as a class, I would highly recommend that you prep this. I don't, sometimes when I teach like product-based classes, I don't cut designer series paper for folks. But in this case, I would. Because if not, it's going to be way too stressful. And we don't want people to be stressed out when they come to your card class, right? We want them to have a good time and enjoy themselves. So, all right, so we're going to try to, and that's why one of the reasons why I'm using repositionable glue on this one is because it gives me a second to kind of make sure I've got everything, you know, lined up, so to speak. All right, so now we're going to stick this panel in here. So we're going to glue the back of this. I've done like an angled card, but I've never had this kind of extra flap on the inside. So this is kind of a cool one. All right, and then we need to do a little bit of stamping on these 2 pieces. So we need to, and I love that little heart. There's only one size of that heart die though in that set. So that was kind of a pain to cut a whole bunch of those. All right, so we need the horse and the sleigh. So this is the really big, the really, really big piece. All right, so here's our horse, here's our sleigh, and we're still using Sending Warmth Your Way, which is this one, so that's good. All right, let me get my big block. So for this one, you need the eye block because it's a pretty big stamp. And if you feel exceptionally brave and don't mind a bit of issues at the edges, you could just stamp this just like this. So I'm going to do that. And then if it messes up, you'll see why it messes up and maybe why you shouldn't do this. You can learn from me. Sometimes when you stamp on an edge, it doesn't do a good job, but we're going to give it a try because I don't feel like stamping this twice. All right. So we've got our horse and we've got that. And I think we're going to go right about there. And I tried to push the 2 papers as close as possible, you know, so hopefully we'll get a good image on both of them. Not bad, not bad. I don't see much of an issue on the crease there at all. And then this is in basic gray, so all right, Sending Warmth Your Way, very lovely. Still have room for the little bow at the top. And we'll put our little pieces together. So this piece is going to go on the inside. I do like the idea of this one because you don't have to write as much when you've got like a stamped piece and a smaller piece on the inside. Not that I don't have a lot to say, but sometimes at Christmas when you're trying to get a bunch of Christmas cards out, you just want to get the card out, right? All right. And then on this one, she added the bow at the top. I don't think you would have to if you don't want to. But let's see, where did my, oh yeah, here's my dimensions. So, and then this one, what she did is she attached it so that this piece kind of tucks in here. So I really just need a dimensional at the bottom. So I need a smaller dimensional here. I want dimensionals at the bottom so that my paper can kind of tuck in here. So I don't want it to be too high. And hopefully, yeah. So now, see, my card can just tuck in there. So, and I can add the bow later if I want. Okay, awesome. So for those of you who are joining us, hey guys, welcome. I'm walking through the make and takes because I wasn't here last week to do them. And I wanted to show you a couple of tricks and, things with the make and takes. And then we'll kind of talk about some other, news, the news of the moment for Stampin' Up and what's going on. All right, so this one was really simple, and this was just DSP, right? We've got this. I might not even make this one with you guys because this one was so simple. Where is the tree for this one though? I feel like this might have been taken by another sheet, or I used the wrong one, which is completely possible. Right? Don't you feel like it was this one? Yes. Wow. So for this one, maybe I'll use, I don't think this one's used on the last one now. So maybe for this one, I'll use this one instead because I didn't use it. And then I did a different shape. I did the Season of Cheer on this shape. And then this is just the inside piece to go on the inside of the card. But this one's really easy. I don't think that this one requires a lot of instruction. But the last one is wild. And I've never prepped a card like this before. I will say that I think this card is lovely, but it is a paper gobbler. And you know how I feel about paper gobblers. So, and I think it's a paper gobbler in several regards. So one, it requires 2 full sheets of DSP, one of which I happen to adore. It's this wood grain one. And I really, I'm a little sad to use this. And then the other one is the deer, which is super cute. But it's also a paper gobbler because of this piece. So this is actually a very large piece that measured 11 by 5.5. So you actually cannot get 2 card bases out of a standard piece of cardstock. Now you could get 2 out of a 12 by 12 sheet. So if you had 12 by 12 paper that you were trying to get rid of, this would be a fun way to get rid of it. So it's 11 by 5.5, and you're going to score it at 4.25, 5.5, and 6 3/4. And what it does is it makes a mountain valley mountain. It makes a card that has a piece in the middle. It has like a little panel piece in the middle. And so it's a really interesting card. I've never seen a card quite like this. So I'm going to use my bone folder just to get the creases really nice and flat, right? Because I want this card to lay flat so that I can work with it a little bit better. And I'm going to bone fold this inside one too. So we're going to cut some designer series paper to go inside. So one piece of the designer series paper, 2 of them are going to be cut to 4 by 5.25. So this one, I'm going to cut to 4 first. And I'm going to save this piece of wood grain for something else. Oh, the little foxy's there. And then I'll cut to 5.25 here. Okay. And then this one, we're also cutting to 4, but I really want to keep him in the center. So I'm going to cut 1 inch off of one side and 1 inch off the other. And the good news is that won't mess up my other plans. So I'm going to do 1 inch off one side and 1 inch off the other. And one of these trees, this piece, we're going to use again. All right. And then this, we needed to go down to 5 1/4. And so we can kind of decide, I think I'm okay. Cutting off the bottom. So 5 1/4. So we're just going to trim a little off the bottom. That's fine. And then for this one, I think I'm going to trim a little off the top. So for those of you who are following along, if you're like, oh my God, she's going too fast or whatever, because I know a lot of you got the packet this month, just remember, I'll put this recording up. And then in addition to that, we have the PDF. So you can always go back and look at the PDF. All right, so this dark panel, the dark wood panel, is going to go on the inside, kind of the back inside of the card. So this panel is going to go here, hopefully, and straight, hopefully. Good enough, right? This panel is going to go here. So this is kind of like this side of the flap. And then we're going to glue the seam down as well. So we're going to open the back side of the card and we're going to put some glue in here and we're going to glue this seam down. And then we're going to put our sweet little baby deer on the front. Although you all know there's no baby deer in the winter, but whatever. Natural realism, right? Doesn't have to be real, right? Because it's pretty. All right, and then there's a couple of die pieces. So you have the die piece. This is from the Natural Prints dies. And then you have 2 of the little snowdrift pieces that you can add to the front as well. So you can kind of stack these up with some dimensionals. And then we're going to tuck this in behind here, but hopefully, not blocking the deer, right? So, because I chose to maybe cut some of the bottom off, maybe don't do that because now my deer will be, I don't want him to be hidden, and I need early espresso. All right, so that's the projects for this month. And they use the online exclusives, right? So we have the online exclusives. You guys have probably seen where some of them are going kind of in and out of stock. The trucks have come, the trucks have gone, the trucks have come again. I don't know where we are with the trucks today. I'll show you a couple of other of the items, and then I'll tell you a little bit about a few of the things. So there is a ribbon, and I did get it. It is what is it called? It's just polka dotted ribbon, and it is real red and gold. I'd like to do this where I don't actually cut the ribbon itself, but I don't know. Okay, there we go. So it's a really pretty ribbon. I'm going to use it probably flat some. What I don't like is that on the back side, it has a different pattern. So the ribbon's really pretty, but when you tie a bow, it's a pretty thick ribbon because of the gold. And if you tie a bow, and you're going to show some non-dotted unless you like twist your ribbon, and I don't know. So I'm still kind of meditating on how I'm going to use it. I think flat run, I think it would be really pretty, maybe with a little fake bow, the one where we where we lay it flat and then we tie a little fake bow. I think that would probably make me satisfied with this. So Very Merry is one of the stamp sets, and I knew I wanted this one because I love to do stained glass stuff. So you can stamp these on vellum, and you can color the back with alcohol markers, and you can make some really pretty stained glass effects with vellum and markers, vellum and watercolor. It doesn't really matter. But you could also do You could do them with heat embossing and then put color in the wells. Like you could use your paintbrush. So just if you follow me on Facebook, if you guys, ever come over to my Wednesday night classes that I do on Facebook, I'll definitely be playing around with this one. And I might even play around with it this week just because I'm very excited about it. I don't know if it's back in stock though, so I won't play with it until it's back in stock. And then the truck bundle. So we have the truck punch and the trucking along stamp set, which is shown at 90%. So they are a little bit bigger than this, but you've got the palm trees and the packages. These are like little buckets of flowers. Here's some other flowers, some like sunflowers. You've got the rails for the back. You've got grass. This actually fills in the flowers. You've got a Christmas tree and a cloud. So kind of an outline and a outline fill in, and then some cute little sentiments, right? Wishing you a festive Christmas, any sunny thoughts, special delivery, farm fresh. Each day is a fresh start. So the farm fresh could be stamped on the truck itself, right? Like it fits right there, and the panel is supposed to fit on the panel. So cool stamp set, lots of great ideas you've probably already seen out there floating for this one. I'll play with this one, but again, I'm going to wait till it comes back in stock before I like highlight it for people. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the spotlight. And okay, so I'm going to actually all right. So I wanted to see if you guys had questions about online exclusives or anything like that that's come out. I know that right now there's a lot of like up and down. So watching the inventory status report is really important. And if you don't know where that is, you need to check that out. It is under, I can go there. Does everybody know where inventory status report is? Because if not, I'll show everybody. Tell me if you don't. You can unmute yourself.
I don't.
Okay, super. Well, then let me show it. And I want to welcome Anita to our meeting. Anita is new and I'm super excited to have her as a demonstrator. So one of the things we have access to under ordering is the inventory status report. And so if you click on this, then it'll take you to a list and you can click these buttons at the top. So it'll say, okay, you can't order this logo decal because it won't be available till September, which is a really long time from now. These in color dots are out until the week of July 24th. This ribbon is out until August 14th. Looks like there's some paper. It looks like One Horse Open Sleigh paper is gone right now, but it's going to be back next week, which is great. So Very Merry will be back the week after next. So I'll probably wait to play with that one until it's back in. Stampin' Up makes all of their stamps locally. So if stamps go unavailable, a lot of times they'll go ahead and order more. It's once a punch goes out that they're not likely to order more unless it's something in the annual catalog. But if it's one of these exclusives, they're not going to do it. And then it looks like we've got some punches coming. It looks like the Easter Bunny punch is still trying to make a recovery. I think we got a bunch in and then it went out again. The decorative circle punch. So you'll see things here and it'll have dates. If a bundle is out, it's usually because one piece of the bundle is out. So, if a die is out, then of course the whole bundle isn't available. So that makes sense. And then you'll also see low inventory. So when you go to this report, it's helpful to check it because if there's something that's on low inventory and you're like, oh, wait, but I want that and I don't want it to go away, then maybe you would add it to your next order. So low inventory is really supposed to help you make better purchasing decisions. It's also helpful if you're like, well, I was planning a class around Week of Stella. maybe I better get some before it goes away, right? So low inventory is a way to make sure that the things that you need, you have, and you're not missing out. It looks like there's quite a few blends and stuff too. Low inventory, it looks like we've got lots of note cards, maybe some paper. The snips, we got a huge pack of snips in, but maybe we need some more. Steel refill, is on low inventory. That's not good because heading into tax-free weekend, we tend to buy a lot of adhesive. So that would be sad if it went away before tax-free weekend. Back ordered and no longer available. Both of these are empty. So that's good. So they stopped doing back orders. Back orders are basically like you could order it and pay for it, but you weren't going to be able to get it immediately. And those were really costly to the company. So they've stopped doing back orders. But you know, the inventory status report is an important report to look at for sure before you place orders. I'm sure you guys saw the sale. So we've got a stamp sale going on, which is exciting. So that is 24 hours, all stamps, 15% off on Wednesday. So that'll be this Wednesday for 24 hours. And then, you know, let your friends and family know, you know, if you're going to put an order in, you know, see if anybody needs anything. That's always a nice way to offer them, you know, some discounted shipping, you know, and it helps, you know, with your sales if they're gonna, you know, place an order anyway.
Melissa,
Yeah.
could I ask a question? Under that stamp sale, I think I saw somewhere it said it does not include host stamp set. So what is a host stamp set?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the host stamp sets are the stamp sets that are listed in the back of the catalog on the hostess page. You can also find them by searching on the website. So if you go to stampinup.com, let's see, I will share my screen. So we have host stamps in every catalog that we offer, and sometimes keeping track of all the host sets is difficult. Why is my screen sharing paused? I don't want it to be paused. Oh, that was weird. All right, let's try again. Okay. So the easiest way I find to find the current host sets is if you click host. And the two hostess sets we have right now is the Night of Flight, which you guys have seen, I've featured some, and the Calm and Quiet host set. So those are already severely discounted sets that you can buy only with hostess dollars. So if your order goes over $150, then you can use your hostess rewards, your Stampin' rewards to get those sets. And they're already very discounted. So those are not going to be part of the offer for the 15% off. Does that help for that, Anita? Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So other big news, other things happening in Stampin' Up land. There's a new kit. It is the I don't know, y'all. I forget the name. Apple Blossom Wishes kit. It's really pretty. It is. I'll stop sharing. There we go. They're the slimline cards, and they have slimline envelopes to go with them, and they feature wild wheat and orchid oasis, which is a really interesting combo with some of the, I don't know if it's real red or if it's Calypso floral, but it's a really interesting color combo. I will say the cards are really nice. There's a lot of like embossing. So the card bases are embossed. And there's a lot of nice features, like a lot of like, there's like stitching on these pieces. They're all stitched. It's kind of easier to see the stitching on the back on camera, but they're very nice cards. They would work really well for Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur because they have the apples on them and the pears. And so the apples, like apples and honey, are really traditional for that holiday. And the other thing they do have foil on them, which is nice. And they also have vellum. So there's a bunch of little vellum flowers that have yellow in the middle. And this is like a whole sheet of them. And you use those to like accent the pieces. So it's actually a really nice kit. And I think it probably, like a lot of the other kits, doesn't photograph well, but it's a really nice kit. So just something to, consider. Okay. Other than that, we have a new paper pumpkin, which is the floral paper pumpkin. And that will be, that'll close on August 10th. It features a distinctive stamp, which is, the stamps that have the kind of the texture and the shading without having to do multiple stamping, which is really nice. So if you, like paper pumpkin and you've done paper pumpkin before, you'll probably really like this set. I saw it has like a water lily in it, and a few other really nice floral images. So, questions about kind of the updates from paper pumpkin and what we've got going on? Anything? Okay. And then we traditionally have you guys like to show off, do a little show and tell. So let's, let me see, is everybody here? Oh, looks like maybe Pat's here. Let me see. Did anyone else have issues getting in?
I did it first, but I just got out and went back and came right up.
Okay. Just making sure. Will one of you look on the website and see?
The link isn't there because I tried to download it on my computer. I had to go to my phone because I had saved the link to my phone earlier just in case I couldn't find it. Well, the link's not on your post.
I thought I put it in the comment of the post, maybe.
They're not even coming up on my comments.
Oh, here.
I know,
Okay.
it's just peculiar.
Okay.
Melissa, do you use the same link every month?
I do. I use the
So
same
you
link.
just save the one you sent today and okay.
Yep. Yeah. I've tried to make it easy. I know that way someone could maybe hack in and, but I don't know that anybody's really doing that anymore, right? Like no Zoom bombers, right?
Could you tell me again about where to find that PDF that goes with those cards?
Yeah, so it's posted on the Facebook group, the Southern Sweet Stampers. So if you go to Southern Sweet Stampers and you click on files, you'll see all the PDFs that we've posted there. So I can go here. So if you go to Southern on Facebook, so this is our team page that Candy runs, right? And on this page, the easiest way for me to find it is just to go to files. And then here you see Rhonda Wade 2023 July meeting planner, and you can click on that, and that's the PDF. So.
And is there one of those every month? Do you do this the same thing every month? You have the group cards and okay.
Yep. So every month we do this, and we, so normally we have been charging $10 a month. Candy and I discussed it, and we've decided that we need to charge 15. So just as a heads up to everybody that we are going to go up in price. We just, with the way shipping and everything is, I think that it's just worth. And lately, the packages have been including a lot of product in them, which is great because we want you guys to, be able to play with product and see it. But what it means is that, it increases our costs. And then when we try to get them out this close to a release date, it makes it really hard because we have to do some rush shipping and stuff. So they're $15 a month. And then on my team, when it's my month to host, you can always use your coupons. And so we have each month, folks on the team will earn coupons based on their sales or recruiting. And so if you have over 500 in a month, then you get a coupon, and over 900. And then, if you have a recruit. So, I have not run the numbers for June. I'm sorry, but I will, and I will post in our page, the folks, and we'll do a little celebration jig then, with everyone who has, who had good sales for the month of June, which was the beginning of the new catalog. So, good. Other questions, concerns, comments right now? Next month is Candy's month for hosting the packets. And I don't see anything getting in our way for that. So that's good. And then,
How do
and
you
then that-
pay for them? I mean, like you said, do you send out a thing every month or a reminder
Yeah.
or something?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So every month we'll post on the Facebook page, and then Candy sends an email out. Anita, your email was bouncing, she told me today. So her and I are going to work on getting you to not bounce. We'll figure it out. Something must be wrong. Yeah, you'll get an email from her with the link, and then I post it on the Facebook group as well. So,
I have a
good.
show and tell. I have a show and tell. And I
Yeah,
have
definitely.
and I have a for the good of the order.
Oh, I love for the good of the order. Okay, so hold on. Let me remove my spotlight, and then I will spotlight you, my friend. And then we're gonna do prize drawings at the end too. So spotlight. Okay. You are spotlighted, my dear.
So we have someone in Austria, and her name is Kylie Bartucci. And she always tells us that we should chop and cut. And most of us know about this, but the new girls don't. Or maybe they don't. I have been the last year and a half, 2 years now, chopping and cutting. So I wanted to share what I did. At the end of the season, unless it's something I really think I'm really going to scrapbook, I'm cutting my papers. So what I do is a 12 by 12. If you'll notice on the new Stampin' Up cutter, you just lay your paper right here. It'll catch it. And when you slice, it'll give you an exact 6 inches. So I'll take my 12 by 12 and I will cut it in half. And then I take that long 12 by 12, it's 6 now. It's 6 by 12. I'll cut it into 4-inch. I'll get 3. I actually get 6. So what I've done is I've cut them into 4 by 6s. And then at the Costco, I picked up a really nice acrylic box. You get a nice one too at Hobby Lobby. But let me tell you what, it is so nice when I need to do a quick card. I have all these 4 by 6s. You're thinking, well, okay, well, you really only need for a card front a 4 by 5 1/4. Well, that little extra piece you put on the inside of your card. Therefore, this is what I mean. So that little extra piece went on the inside of my card like that, just to give it a little extra schmutzy, right? And then this is my card. This is old paper. I'm going to probably do something old, something new. This is some old cardstock that I never used. I mean, it's gorgeous, but I couldn't get it to a place where we use it. So this is my something old, something new. Again, it's from my scrap, which I have a couple of them actually, too heavy to lift for me. There you go. Cut it and chop it, and get it out of your space. It actually gives the appearance of taking up less space, but it's so nice to just whip out a few cards a day and get them ready for some occasion.
Yeah. Yeah, Kylie Bertucci's in Australia, and yeah, her love it, chop it hashtag is pretty popular, and it is a great way. It's also a great way if you want to love it, chop it, and pass it along. So you want to make a package for customers or something. It's a great size to give customers because it's really usable for them, and they can it makes it manageable for them. So yay, good. All right. Well, let's see if anybody else has a project they'd like to share. I see lots of folks. Jill, you got something you want to share?
Yeah, I did the Daisy
Oh, yeah.
art class last weekend. Not the
Nice.
past one, but the one before. And so we did a couple of things. The two cards that we made, I think this was Martin Stone's card. Love it. I didn't have the cane weave, and I used the metal embossed folder instead, and that worked out pretty well.
Is that copper clay?
That is copper clay.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, I made dark ones and light ones, and everybody had stuff
Pretty.
left over to take home.
Pretty.
The other one that we made was this one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I like that I doubled up the solid and the detail in the back.
Yeah.
Used some brushed butterflies and
Nice.
vellum.
Vellum. Yeah.
And then I took the 112 by 12 page.
Oh, yeah.
Made, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards
wow.
out of it. I watched a video and put these together as such.
That's pretty.
Nice.
And I didn't have ribbon, so I taught my class that you can take a piece of cardstock to make it flat, and then just take the center of the flower, give it some texture, and it looks like a piece of ribbon.
Nice. Beautiful.
Yeah. And then this was another one.
That's pretty.
And this is that one, the really pretty sky.
Yeah, that one's pretty.
This is probably my favorite
Oh, that's pretty.
of that one. I love that one a lot. And then this one was super simple.
Yeah, but pretty.
And I love it.
Yeah.
And then this one was the book card. Where it's
Oh,
got
yeah,
bind.
the book fold. Yeah, the
Yeah,
bind.
those are
Yeah, the book folds on that one. So
Nice.
Yep. Oh, really
Yeah.
nice. I played a lot.
Well, that is fun. I like the first one of the 7 you did that has the little yellow stripe on it.
Look, this one.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, I love that one.
Because
Yeah,
I
this
didn't
is
know
all
how to use.
one die cut.
Yeah, I didn't know how to use those smaller pieces, and so I feel like that's a really good use of those. The
And
colors.
then you just use the solid stamp to color it in. You don't
Thank
hand
you.
color any of that crap in.
Well, feel free to send that card my way if I have a birthday or if I make your day. I very much like that one.
I'm
Okay.
inspired. Thank you.
You're
Beautiful.
welcome. Yeah, it was really great to show them how to take that 12 by 12 and make 7 easy cards. And then they picked out, I prepped 7 cards for the third card of that one, and they each picked one.
Oh,
So
nice.
that worked
That's
out really well.
That's a good way to do that.
My
for
crew
sure.
doesn't fight over not having the same thing. So
Yeah. If everybody gets along, that's great.
yeah, it's
Well,
great when they get along.
for sure. Anita, did you raise your hand? Did you have something you want to show us? Oh yeah, we love it. Okay, let me spotlight you so everybody can see you. Okay, let's see what you got, my dear.
I use the delightfully eclectic paper.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh,
Wow.
let me get it.
so cute. I
Is
like
it
that.
black?
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah,
Love
it's black. It was hard.
Oh yeah. Oh, fun. Love
Well,
it.
those are delightful.
They are delightful.
Ooh.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this was it's like, that was a hard paper. Like, what are you gonna do with that? You know,
Yeah.
but it kind of works, you know.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, I
Oh,
like that.
Cute.
oh, I like that a lot.
Very nice.
And this one I
Ooh.
had the vellum that already had the black circle on it.
Oh, yeah, from that set. Oh, yeah, that's brilliant. That looks really good. Oh, good. That looks nice.
And I've been playing with other cards too, but
Oh, yeah.
and I've been playing with paper napkins. This is like a paper napkin. And you glue it with those adhesive sheets.
Oh, napkin cards are fun. I was going to do those. I've actually saved a couple to do them on my lives. So maybe I'll do those next week or this week. So, well, those are lovely. Good job, Anita. Who else
you.
has a card? Oh, Elena, I see you, my dear. Let me spotlight you. Hey, welcome back.
Hi.
You-
Well, you know how I love my zoo crew critters. I just keep playing with them.
Oh my gosh.
Cute, cute. I love the patchwork.
Oh, that is so cute. Oh, those are cute, Elena. Oh. And you're not tired of them yet? I see this. You just keep producing. Oh my goodness. These are so
I
cute.
just love them.
Oh my gosh. So cute.
And then
Adorable.
just to show an alternative from the paper pumpkin, I made an alternative.
Oh, I like that.
Pretty.
That's
Really.
it.
Very nicely done. You and that zoo crew, you're crazy. All right, who else has a card to show? Miss Patsy Palmer, let me spotlight you. And you're muted, but we still do.
There we go.
Hey.
Hi, Patsy.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's
I like
cute.
That's
Fancy.
familiar. I love it.
That's adorable.
It's got the embossing.
Nice.
Do that. Okay.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful card.
Thank you.
Was that maybe mystery stamping from last week?
It's from class today.
Oh, hey there. I was like, hey, good job.
I have another one, but I couldn't find it right now that quick. So,
That's okay. All you have
Yeah.
to do is one. So, anybody else? Sarah, you got something? I know you've just been busy, girl.
I don't.
It's
I'm
okay.
cutting for Thursday, so I'm designing and cutting now.
Me too, friend. Me too. So I'll have more inspiration later in the week. So Glenda, nice to see you. Hey, friend. So I wondered who was texting me. It was a 254.
Right.
It's okay. Don't worry, friend. We tape record it, remember? So it's okay. So,
Oh.
all right, I've got some, so at the beginning, all we did was, we just did, the make and takes. So, so I just walked through the make and takes because I knew that they were a little more challenging than our normal make and takes. And so we had the cute little deer and this crazy fold that was just so different. I've never seen anything quite like it. And then we had, if I can find it, we had the really cool fold that kind of tucks in the heart. Like this one was really wild too. So that was kind of fun. And I enjoyed that one. And then we had the really pretty clean one with the light wood. I'll spotlight myself. And then we had this fun fold, which was super cute. And then the last one I haven't put together because it's not really a fun fold. It's just a very, simple card, but it's just like layers, with a little greeting. So I'll put this one together later. That one's not so important. So that's what I did at the beginning. And so if you guys want to go back and watch it, you can. And then I'm going to get my door prizes out because I've got door prizes, of course. And I've got a good number of door prizes.
Has anyone else given any more consideration to Houston for next year?
Oh yeah. So I have looked at an Airbnb. I've got a couple of choices. I'm going to look back at them and see if any of them are gone, but I've got a pretty good idea of kind of what our Airbnb choices are. And I think I sent the spreadsheet to Candy, but I haven't heard from her since I was out of town last week. But I will, I'll reach back out to her. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us are going to be going to Houston. Well, especially those of us who are local, I mean, it's an easy choice for us, right? To go to On Stage in Houston. So
do we have to be a certain level to go?
Nope. Anybody can go.
Ooh, goody.
I know. And it's going to be the bigger convention. So it's going to be kind of the old style, which some of you guys don't know. For those of you who were in Orlando for the 30th anniversary, that'll be similar to what we did in Orlando, where we had multiple rooms and we got to move around and pick our classes. And it's going to be 2 full days of stamping, crafting, learning. It'll be amazing. So it's going to be closer to the old style convention, which is awesome. So I'm really looking forward to that. So, and yeah, so I think it'll be great.
Registration isn't open yet for that, right? Or is it?
No, has not opened. So,
right.
I think everybody's just getting, everyone's getting excited, getting pumped. I will probably reserve the Airbnb though, just because if I don't reserve it now, someone will snatch it, so, and then we might end up reserving 2, one that is more like a 1 level, kind of house. A lot of the places in Houston are 2 and 3 stories. Yeah, a lot of stairs. And so, and the more people you fit in, the taller the building. But a couple of them have downstairs bedrooms, so they have bedrooms on the first floor, which is good. So, and then we found one place that's pretty much, I think, all 1 level. So I think Candy and I are going to discuss, but I think we're going to book one of the larger kind of townhomes and then one of the smaller kind of houses that's 1 story, hopefully. So, so we're doing our best. We know we have a lot of folks with accommodation, accessibility issues. So we are going to do our best to try to make that happen for everybody. So,
Do you think we'll get a pool?
Yeah,
so one had a pool.
Yes, it's March. I don't think we're gonna need a pool, only because March is reasonable. None of the ones I have found so far have a pool. I want to say one of them might have had a hot tub, but maybe not. It was actually I was surprised. Like when you put in a certain number of folks, I was surprised by the restrictions. A couple of them have some really nice patios, outdoor spaces where we can eat and stuff too. And March will be nice enough that we could, eat outside and, we could enjoy, that. So, but it won't be hot enough. It's not like today where it was 107, right? So today was ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to pull some door prize winners. So if you come to the meeting, you get your name in the entry. And then if you share a project, you get your name in the drawing. And then I just have a bunch of pieces of paper and I just pull winners and you get what you get. So we have some of the really cute gingham ribbon. We have glossy dots. We have iridescent pearls. We have pastel adhesive back sequins. We have the in color pearls, and then a pack of the snowflake assortment, adhesive back snowflake. And Patsy Palmer, you're the first one. What would you like?
Snowflakes, please.
Oh,
Snowflakes is sold. All right, next person. Anita. All right, what would you like, my dear?
Well, any of the sequins, I guess, the ones that they have glue on the back, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I tend to not get anything that doesn't have adhesive on it. So we need the easy button here. Miss Jill, what would you like?
I would like the colored pearls. Those, yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. And Elena, what would you like?
The gingham ribbon.
The ribbon. I will send it up with Patsy. So so I don't have to ship that. That's ribbon's no fun to ship, y'all. I'm just gonna say. All right. And then let's see. Terry, what would you like? The glossy dots or the iridescent pearls?
iridescent pearls.
Yeah, you're a pearls girl. I know. All right, last person. Let's see. Who didn't get anything? Oh, Patsy, you got another one. Glossy dots for you. All right, there you go, guys. Good job. All right, I will remove my spotlight. All right, I'm going to stop the recording and then